Hi, I'm Hillary, and welcome to WellBean. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia. Quite cold and rainy right now, but it is warm inside, and I'm really excited to be talking to you today. My first video for my WellBean community. I'm hoping that this will become a community where we can all share information about healthy living and mainly healthy plant-based and vegan living. At least that's my goal. So just a little bit about myself first. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis back in about 2003. I was in my early 30s. I was experiencing chronic pain and swelling and some other weird symptoms. So my doctor diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis. And again, I was really young in my early 30s, just married. It was pretty devastating and scary. I was in a lot of pain and wasn't quite sure how the disease was going to progress. So one of the, or there are a lot of side effects of rheumatoid arthritis, but one of them, is an increased risk of cancers and just general the damage that inflammation generally does to your body. So I was lucky enough, given the risks, doctors typically want to, prescribe various drugs sort of immediately to combat the effects of inflammation in your body. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to take drugs. It kind of went into remission basically up into and through my pregnancy. I had a son in 2010. So after he was born, though, unfortunately, it came back with a vengeance. I had just awful pain in my wrist to the point where I couldn't hold him. Couldn't hold my son without being in excruciating pain. You could see on scans of my wrists that there had been significant damage. I was starting to have pain going up and down stairs. And again, seemed to be worse than it had ever been before. So I found a rheumatologist, wonderful rheumatologist up here in Vancouver, who prescribed basically a drug called methotrexate. Luckily, my doctor definitely believes in taking a slow approach at first. If you have to be diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, I suggest you find a rheumatologist who is supportive of a slower approach in terms of drugs. So anyway, he prescribed me to methotrexate. Methotrexate has a lot of side effects, though. What it does is it's used in cancer treatment as well. And basically, what it does is it can lower your immune system. So it stops your immune system from attacking your body, which is basically what rheumatoid arthritis is. It's your immune system gets out of whack and starts to attack your body. So side effects of methotrexate can include increased risk of cancer, other nasty stuff, and it also gives you some pretty nasty heartburn. Worst heartburn I've ever had in my life once I started taking that. It was just sort of constant and could only be controlled with taking basically another drug. So it's 2014 basically. I'm on this drug. I'm on actually two drugs. I'm wondering what the next drug that I'm going to have to take is. Seems like you get one drug for the disease and then another drug for the side effects of that drug. And so just kind of wondered where all this was going. I wasn't getting any worse, but I was still having chronic pain in my wrists and sometimes in my knees. And I just was going in a direction that I knew I didn't want to go in. And so in January 2015, my husband and I decided we did quite a bit of research, and we also started actually watching a lot of YouTubers like Fully Raw Christina, Freely the Banana Girl, Bite Size Vegan, Happy Healthy Vegan, all great YouTubers. And we decided we'd try sort of plant-based vegan eating and that we'd embark on the journey together. My husband's also in his early 40s and had just started to train for long-distance running, and he was eager to improve his health as well. So we decided to go down this path. And it's been absolutely great to be able to use those resources. And I will definitely share them if you don't know of them, and I encourage you to share them as well. But anyway, one of the first things I noticed within the first month of eating a plant based diet was that my heartburn just went away completely. I was able to stop taking that heartburn drug. To me, that was a huge victory, and it just sort of showed to me um, that something was having an effect besides the drug, or maybe in concert with the drug. But just the simple, it's probably not simple, but just eliminating meat and dairy and eggs was enough to take away that heartburn. So I was able to stop taking that drug. Um, I also, so that was great motivation to keep going. Methotrexate can also damage your liver function, so I have my blood tested pretty much every month to make sure that everything is still working. And one of the other things that they look at is something called your C-reactive protein level. Basically, it's an indicator of the level of inflammation in your body. And a normal person probably is down around 0 or 1. My levels have been pretty high, as high as 13 or so, even with the methotrexate. And even though that doesn't sound like a high number, it is. It indicates that there is inflammation in your body, which you don't want. So within about 8 months or so, that level, I saw it gradually drop, and within about 8 months, that level had gone down to about 1, which to me was amazing. And my rheumatologist said that I was basically in lab remission. So if you looked at my lab work, you wouldn't know that I have rheumatoid arthritis if you were looking for it. So I just was so happy. He agreed to let me start to reduce the dosage of methotrexate, which I am working on, because my ultimate goal is to get off that and try to control my disease basically through healthy, plant-based, and vegan eating. It's really been amazing to see just the health benefits. Our son is largely vegan as well. He is just absolutely flourishing. He's really cute. He made a little. I'm looking at it right now. He made a little vegan Lego guy for me recently. So he's definitely gotten on board and is very healthy. Um, but it's just been amazing to both my husband and I, the improvement in our health. And to me, it's when I look at myself, I think nothing else had changed. The dosage of methotrexate was the same. The only thing that changed was that I gave up all that meat, dairy, eggs, all that stuff. And when you see that proof, it really is just absolutely life-changing. So, I'm not going to say that that either my husband and I, are perfect. I mean, our son, from time to time still eats non-vegan stuff. We've both slipped a couple of times, but the thing that was really amazing to me, was how quickly my health went backwards. When I did slip, I would start to get pain again. I would start to get heartburn again within like 2 or 3 days. So it really is proof to me of the damage that those foods do in your body. And, today we're just absolutely committed to eating this way for the rest of our lives, which we hope are long ones, especially if we are eliminating the bad stuff. Part of what makes it easier for us too is living in Vancouver. There are so many resources in Vancouver, so many great restaurants, and obviously, um, one of the main staples for us, going back to the name of my community, WellBean, is I love beans, and I always have. I knew they were good for me, and so when I was sort of struggling in the beginning, like, oh, what am I going to eat? I thought, well, it's so great because there are so many yummy vegan things to eat, and beans play a huge role in that for me and what I eat, and just so many other great foods and great resources here in Vancouver. So we'll talk about them, And, I'm happy to share recipes. We made some great food for the holidays. My husband made a vegan lasagna. We had vegan sticky buns and a little too much vegan eggnog with rum, but we had a lot of fun. So, this channel and this community is really about just well-being through, for us, vegan and plant-based eating. If my story resonates with you, please click like below, and I am definitely going to be back on a regular basis. I've also linked my Facebook page. I put a picture up. We went to one of our favorite vegan Mexican places here in Vancouver over the weekend. And so I have a picture up there from that restaurant. So if my story resonates with you, as I said, click like below. Check me out on Facebook. I've got a couple other sites linked. And hope you had happy holidays. And I'll talk to you again soon. Eat your beans.